If you're in the market for a baby push walker, then you're watching the right video, especially if you're feeling like you're a little bit confused and you're not 100% sure what direction you should go in. So today we're going to be talking about all things push walkers. We're going to talk about wooden push walkers, plastic push walkers, the pros and cons of each of these types of push walkers. If you're new to the channel, my name is Cherrick Gordon. I've been a pediatric physical therapist for well over 25 years, and I'm also a parent to 2 kids. Now, I show parents just like you how to use simple touch and movement to help your baby catch up and move ahead. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then definitely continue watching. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments along the way, and I will definitely answer them for you. So today we're doing a deep dive into baby push walkers. What are the pros? What are the cons of each of them? And what type of push walker would be best for your particular situation? So we're going to help you to make a choice. But I want to be clear about something up front. When I'm talking about push walkers, when parents hear the term walkers, they think of this type of walker. They think of the walker where your baby is sitting in the walker and has these rolling wheels. That is not what I'm talking about today. I do not approve of these types of walkers. I don't recommend them, and I ask my clients definitely not to get them. So let's move on from this and talk a little bit about what type of walker you should be choosing, the pros and cons of each of them. We're going to start off by talking about some of the benefits of walkers. Let's start off with the plastic push walkers, like what this little baby is using right here, and get into some of the benefits of walkers in general. So walkers will help your baby to build core trunk strength, balance, leg strength, and stability. As you can see, as she is pushing the walker, moving around the room, you can see that she has to control the walker. She's leaning forward a little bit. She has to balance. She has to shift her weight from side to side. And every now and again, she's going to bump into a wall, but that will teach her that, you know what, she has to now start turning and controlling the walker in order to go where she wants to go. I'm giving her the opportunity to go ahead and practice with the walker and let her develop her strength as she's moving forward using the walker. So those are some of the benefits of using these types of walkers. Now, the plastic push walkers are usually faster, but they tend to be a little bit less stable than your wooden walkers. Sometimes, if you're not paying attention, baby can wind up pushing the walker, and especially if you're on a hard surface like this one who is in the kitchen, the walker can end up getting away from you. What I like about this particular brand, this is the VTech brand, and this one has adjustable brakes on the wheels, and so you can adjust the brakes and control how much resistance the wheels have and how fast the walker is going to move so that the walker does not get away from her and take her legs out from under her. So I like the fact that you can control those things. Those are a couple of the things that matters: the weight, the wheels, and the amount of traction the baby is going to have on those wheels as she's moving forward, pushing the walker around the room. So I always like to tell the parents that I work with, it's not about the walker. It's about how you use the walker. So you want to be careful, make sure that in the beginning you are guarding her closely and following baby along in case the walker gets away from baby and baby ends up losing their balance. Another thing I like to tell parents is that baby's center of gravity really matters in terms of just having the walker and being able to control the walker in front of her body as she's moving forward, going from one surface to the next. As a matter of fact, I always like to recommend to parents, if you're going to start using a push walker, to go ahead and use the push walker on a carpet rather than starting it on a hardwood floor, kind of like she's doing where she has it in the kitchen. She's been using this walker for a while, and I knew that she could handle it on the kitchen floor, which is a much smoother, much more slippery surface. I like to tell my parents, confidence first and balance and then steps come in second. So that's something you definitely want to pay attention. Drop a comment below and let me know what type of walker you might have. Do you have a wooden walker or a plastic walker? At this point, if you already have it, I would say just try to get the most benefit you can out of the style of walker that you have. So now that we've talked a little bit about the plastic walkers, another thing that I want to mention about plastic walkers is this piece here, the detachable piece, can be fantastic for working on fine motor skills because you can detach that, have baby sit down on the ground and just work on their fine motor skills. And that's an additional benefit to having the plastic style of walker. So let's move on and talk a little bit about the wooden walkers. The wooden walkers tend to have like some of them have a wagon where baby will hold on to the wagon, put some stuff in it, and just push it. These tend to be much more simple and have a different kind of a layout. However, I have used some that are adjustable where you can adjust this arm height and move it down or move it up depending on how tall your baby is. Now, this one here, this particular style that's very simple and very basic, what you can do is put a bag of rice or put a bag of sugar in it. If it tends to be too light, especially if your baby is just starting to use a baby walker or a wooden walker, and go ahead and use it that way. So those are some of the things that you could do with a wooden walker. I also like the fact that the wooden walker gives baby the option. You have different styles of wooden walkers where the wooden walker you can use one like this one here on the left, that is more of a walker. It's got 4 wheels. They're usually sturdy and wide, and you can have baby standing and pushing the walker. This one here winds up being, like the plastic one, a walker that your baby would only use for a fixed amount of time, and then you would go ahead and pretty much discard it. So what are my final takeaways with regard to whether or not I recommend a push walk, a wooden walker versus a plastic walker, kind of like this baby is using here? I personally like the wooden walkers because, especially like this one, I like the wooden walkers because it's very simple to use, and once baby outgrows it, baby can still use it as like a shopping cart and just put things in it and carry it around. You tend to get a longer shelf life out of the wooden walker. So that's my recommendation, is to go with a wooden walker if you have not already purchased a walker. Obviously, as we're wrapping up, if you're new to the channel, I would appreciate it if you would consider liking the channel, subscribing to the channel, and definitely continuing to follow my lives and ask me questions. I always respond to all of the comments and take each comment very seriously, and I respond to all the comments. All right. So I'll talk to you soon. I will see you in my next live video. Take care, my friends.